Hello, friends. One more Friday and one more session on leadership. I have got a lot of messages over the past few days asking me to talk on other topics. What I'm planning on doing is while I prepare content over the next week, for the next week, we will definitely continue with the same three topics. But hopefully, I will have new content ready on new topics over the next week. Also, I have not received any responses on whether I should talk about professionals in family business or not. So I think I'm going to skip that topic and we will talk of something else on the next session of family business on Wednesday. So in the meantime, let's go ahead and look at what we have in store for us today with the leadership topic. And let me start sharing my screen. Okay, so today we are going to look at what are the qualities of an exceptional leader. There are leaders and there are leaders, but there are some who stand out, some who are exceptional. And we are going to talk about what qualities really make an exceptional leader. Great leaders are, as we know, and we all generally associate with the characteristics, they are very charismatic, they are inspirational, and they are smart. In fact, if you walk into a room, these are the things that will make you say that, oh, that guy is a leader. But exceptional leaders have certain other different qualities, and they facilitate innovation. They inspire teams, which is very, very important. They encourage risk-taking, and they embrace learning from failure. All leaders don't do this. And the leaders who do this go on to become exceptional leaders, super leaders from that whole crowd of leaders that one would see. As of today, and most of us will agree if we do a little soul searching, is that business leadership is quite an enigma. We don't know what really is business leadership and who are true business leaders. What are the traits of exceptional leadership? While we talked of the 3 or 4 qualities about exceptional leaders just now, I'm sure most of us in general have not given too much of a thought to all 4 of them. Somebody might have thought of innovation, somebody might have thought of inspiring teams, but combining all this to form what is really a superhero, a super leader, we may not have thought of. So we are going to wonder, or we do wonder, what are the traits of an exceptional leader, and we hope to resolve some of those questions today. And what decision-making flow do they follow? That's very important, because the decision-making flow is going to be dependent on which of these leadership traits that make them exceptional are they going to follow and adapt. Partial understanding of exceptional leadership, as most of us have today, leads to organizations becoming identified by just the leaders. Okay, but that is not the real way that a leader should perform. And what happens when such leaders are leading an organization is that others in the team will tend to hold themselves back. Okay, for a variety of reasons. Maybe they are scorned. Maybe they think that their ideas are stupid and therefore they don't mention it. Maybe they just think that they don't have the charisma or the attitude, so to say, of that leader that is leading them. And therefore they feel that they cannot match up to it. And they cannot progress from being one of them to being the leader of the pack. Truly exceptional leaders are really very ordinary people. They are not something special. It's not that they were born or they dropped down from heaven. They are normal human beings, ordinary people like you and me. And what is very special about them is that they steer their organizations and their teams. Very important. It's not just the organization, but it's the entire team. They steer them. How? Very quietly, very modestly, but with unwavering focus on steering them to exceptional success. And when you create an organization and a team that delivers exceptional success, it is then that you are truly an exceptional leader. So this is what real exceptional leadership is about. And these leaders are what Collins called level 5 leaders. I think he has written a book on this also. And he is the one who coined this phrase, saying level 5 leaders. And he's written a lot about this on HBR. So any of you be interested in going through it. And organizations make unparalleled progress. You cannot compare them with anybody else. And they achieve exceptional success. They are super successful and create powerful and confident teams. All of this goes hand in hand when, when you have level 5 leaders. So what are the traits of such level 5 leaders? Because all of us should aspire to become a level 5 leader, or at least look at the aspects that are and put them into practice. You don't need a designation to be a leader. You need traits to be a leader. Anybody can be a leader if he has the right habits, the right characteristics that leadership requires. So what is the first trait? The first trait is that they are ordinary. They are accessible. You cannot sit in a closed door and be shunned away or shun everybody away from you. And they are humble. They don't have super egos. So these are ordinary people who produce exceptional results. Okay. Every leader delivers great results, but very few. In fact, Collins, I think in his book mentions that out of some 1,000 odd Fortune 500 companies that he met, the CEOs talked to them, he found that there were about 11 of them companies that did exceptionally well. Okay, that they broke industry standards, they broke all norms, they broke all expectations, and they fared exceptionally well. And when he talked to the CEOs of this 11 companies, he found that all of them are what he termed as level 5 leaders. And these are the traits that Collins has identified as being the traits of exceptional leaders. So they are ordinary people, but they produce exceptional results. And they will share the credit with others and the team when they win. It's not that, oh, I did it. No, it's we did it. It's the whole team that is getting the credit for it. And this humility, this sharing of the credit leads to better team bonding and loyalty. Okay, so naturally, when you're sharing your credit with your team, the team feels more loyal to you. The team bonds better with you, knowing that they are given due credit for whatever effort they have put in, and they will be more loyal to you because you are sharing the credit with them. And it makes such teams who are loyal, well bonded, and think well of the leader, who are likely to achieve excellent success. A team that does not have such a leader are not going to deliver excellent success. They may deliver successes, but here we are not talking of ordinary successes. We are talking of excellent successes, things that a normal team would not imagine or have delivered. They will talk about contributions of the others in the team. It's not going to be about, I did this. It's going to be about, my team did this. And so was so good at this that the whole team rallied behind him. It's not that they rallied behind the leader. They rallied behind somebody else who's a part of the team. And they take full responsibilities when things don't go well, when things go south. Okay, so if there is something wrong, they are the ones. They don't play a blame game. There is no blame culture within such organizations. Whenever something goes wrong, I, as the leader, am responsible. But whenever something goes right, whenever something exceptional is achieved, it is not me, but my team that helped me to do it. This is one very important trait of exceptional leaders. And they focus on actions that are needed to overcome the challenges. When something goes wrong, not only do they not blame the team, but they will rally the team around them to determine, to analyze what went wrong and take actions that are needed to overcome the challenge so that in the future such a thing does not happen. So this focus on actions that are needed to overcome the challenge is what it is all about. The second trait is that they focus on the company success and not on the self. Okay, so for such leaders, the focus is on me and my team, not me alone. So it's not a focus on me, it's a focus on we. And this is what, as I just said a few seconds back, is what makes teams exceptionally powerful and who deliver excellent results. They don't get caught up in their egos. Okay, sure, they have egos. One should, but they don't get caught up in it. Nor is the ego doing anything negative for them. That ego is actually meant to push them further to satisfy that ego. So they don't get caught up in their egos. They don't worry about perceptions. Most level 5 leaders don't care a hang about what is a perceived value of him as a leader. And they're not looking to shun blame. If there is a mistake, they take the blame for it, as we just said. So they're not worried about perceptions. They are worried about results. They're worried about delivery. And they are not looking to shun blame. If something does go wrong, they take the blame. They are people with conviction. They are very convinced of what they are doing and are passionate about their vision and mission of the company. So for them, the primary goal is not anything about me, but about we as a company, we as a team, and the company's vision and mission, which the team naturally has to subscribe to, is what is their job. It is their job to fulfill that mission and vision. Naturally, everybody needs financial rewards when they do well, but financial rewards for such people, level 5 leaders, are a byproduct. They are not the goal. They are a byproduct of carrying out the mission well. If I do something well, I expect to get financial returns, but the reason why I'm doing it well is not because of the financial thing, but because that is the mission and vision of the organization and the team that I'm working with. Their passion is contagious, always is. Not only there, anybody's passion is contagious. And it inflicts the whole team. And then that passion, when it is running through an entire team, when it is running through an entire organization, can you imagine what kind of stupendous success that organization will make? Where everybody is so passionate, everybody is going to drive themselves hard to make sure that that vision and mission is achieved. And very, very important, they focus on creating new leaders. Everybody has a finite time on hand. And once that finite time is over, if my organization does not have somebody who can step into my shoes, who can sit down in my chair and take the organization forward, that organization is going to lose steam. So the long-term success of the organization depends on how well the leader at that time creates the next rung of leaders. And therefore, level 5 leaders always focus on creating new leaders, and that ensures the long-term success of the organization. The third characteristic, they are very focused and very disciplined. There is no CEO, there is no leader who can get up in the morning, put on a suit, go to work, and come out with flying colors all the time. No. It requires focus, it requires determination. And this focus and determination has to be there to make excellent progress. So all these level 5 leaders have a very strong resolve. They are absolutely resolute that they want to do what it takes, no matter what the effort or time that goes into it, to produce the best long-term results, including stepping back at a time and giving the impression to people that you are faltering. It's not really faltering. It's a time to reconcile. And your team understands that. As long as you have a team that is with whom you're communicating well, the team will understand why you took that step back. Okay. And they will support you with it. They will make sure that they do whatever is necessary so that from that step back, you take 6 steps forward. Okay. And no matter what the challenge, they have a resolution, they are resolved to move ahead and achieve the mission and vision of the organization, no matter what the challenges are. And challenges will come all the time, as we've discussed in other talks. There is never a time when you will be without challenges. And none of the challenges are insurmountable if you address them in the right way. They focus on processes and actions to achieve this. How do they make sure that they are going in the right direction? They set up processes and they set up actions. It's like setting up a strategy and setting up a roadmap on how you're going to achieve the goal. So they focus on processes and actions to achieve this. And they are constantly looking for improvements, and in both the processes and the implementations, and they never settle for a status quo. No matter, okay, I did very well this year, I think I can go ahead without changing anything. No, change is the only constant. And the world is changing whether you do or not. So if you don't change, if you don't improve yourself, there is somebody who's going to overtake you. And therefore, level 5 leaders never settle for a status quo, but they are constantly looking on how they can improve whatever it is that they are tasked with. They set the standards and they set a model code of behavior for their employees, but they don't just set it up on paper. They walk the talk. If they tell everybody be on time, they are the first ones who will be on time. If they tell everybody that please work honestly, earnestly, they are the ones who will be leading by example. So they walk the talk, but yes, they define the standards and the model by which the organization and the teams should work, both in their discipline as well as their behavior. And they very well know the strengths and weaknesses of their team. They know their teams in and out. They manage them efficiently, and they put the right people for the right job. Putting somebody who's an expert at finances to do marketing is not going to deliver your best result. In fact, more often than not, I say that marketing people are normally at loggerheads with the finance people. Okay, but their goals are different. And each one is right in his or her place. So they put the right people for the right role. A marketing person will be put in the marketing department. A finance person will be put in the finance department. And not that, okay, anybody can do anything. Or they will just appoint them and put them in a position where they have to then fend for themselves. And they always encourage the right people in the right job, but they are encouraged to get out of their comfort zone. As I said, there may be a time when you'll say, oh, this year I did very well. I don't need to change anything. You as a company can't afford it. Every individual in your team cannot sit back and stay in that comfort zone of having achieved this. They have to constantly move out of the comfort zone. Only then will they be able to achieve more. And when every team member moves out of the comfort zone to achieve more, the whole organization is going to benefit. The fourth trait, they create a culture of collaboration. Very often, I have seen leaders who follow that principle of divide and rule, so to say, within an organization. But those organizations cannot thrive. They might solve some problem, they might solve people bickering, but that bickering can actually be good if it's honest, fruitful bickering. So they create a culture of collaboration. And wanting people to collaborate, they incentivize collaboration. And this actually, when you incentivize collaboration, when you are thinking of 5 people working together, they become more innovative. The teams become more innovative. And intra-team and intra-department collaboration leads to amazing, phenomenal results. Okay, imagine the expertise of the finance guy coming hand in hand with the expertise of the product development guy, coming hand in hand with the expertise of the marketing guy. What do you think the 3 of them can do together? They can create a solid, innovative product which the consumer is going to like, which is affordable and easy to manufacture, and which increases the profits of the company. So intra-department and department collaboration leads to incredible results. And basically, as I just said, you're getting the expertise of two or more departments together. And when three experts get together, the result is not threefold. As we keep saying, 2 and 2 make 4. But actually, when you add 2 and 2, it can well become 8. So in the same way, when 3 people get together, it is not 3, but the results can be 9, 3 square. So these specific expertise, when they get together, you are looking at great product and great development. So such collaborations lead to development/invention. Such departments getting together can invent things of great product. And this development of intra-department thing reminds me of, I forget his name, I read this story quite some time back, of a person who invented the wheelbarrow, okay, which you use for farming and all. He invented it with the idea of changing the face of farmers. This was many, many, many years ago, when farming was a very serious thing and there was no mechanized machinery available. So he created a wheelbarrow to make it easier to transport grass and manure and whatever else it is. Now, for some reason, that project did not work. But while the person who invented or designed the wheelbarrow was looking into all the aspects, he came across and saw that the wheelbarrow, which was being painted or powder coated, I don't know what, or it was supposed to be powder coated but was painted, something like that, because of which it failed. When he saw how people were cleaning up, he came up with an idea. And that idea was finally what he used to design the vacuum cleaner. And that person, I think, was named Dyson, if I'm not mistaken. And Dyson vacuum cleaner, who hold the patent, I think, and who are the biggest vacuum cleaner manufacturers, actually comes from the person who failed at designing the wheelbarrow. So what are we talking about? Learn from your failures. And that learning you have to apply to get to do something better and more fruitful. And what happened here? Dyson, he went to another department. He talked to those department people, his team there. Although he was not working with them, he found out what they were doing when they were collecting all the dust, how they were collecting it. These led to the idea of a vacuum cleaner, which he designed. I think he was designing it for over 7 years before he came out with a working model which could be marketed. This is what intra-department collaboration leads to. And this is a product, this thing that we are talking of. But such intra-department collaboration can also lead to better streamlined processes and efficiencies. Like if I talk of, say, the jewelry industry, how the setting department is planning and doing their work may help to streamline processes in, say, the polishing department. Or the biggest case I think we can talk of here is how Ford designed the assembly line, so to say. Okay, they streamline processes and efficiencies. And even till this day today, people are using the assembly line for manufacturing. So intra-department, it wasn't one department, it wasn't Ford alone who did this, but it was departments, different departments getting together from the manufacturing segment to decide how best to manufacture something. The fifth trait is they encourage risk-taking and allow failure. Now, when we talk of risk-taking and failure, one is generally scared. My God, why do I have to take such a risk? And why should I fail? I don't want to fail in life. So when a leader encourages risk-taking and allowing failure, sounds scary, right? What's going to happen to the organization? But risk-taking is necessary, and what goes hand in hand with risk-taking is the willingness of that person, of that organization on the whole, to accept failure. Because every time you take a risk, you're not going to be successful. Yes, you don't take stupid risks. Risks are normally calculated. You take reasonable risks, but risk taking is always associated with failure. If every risk you take were to be a success, I think you'd be a superhuman, or maybe more like God. So risk taking and the willingness and acceptance of failure go hand in hand. You cannot do one without accepting the other. And failure comes more when you take a risk or try something new. If you're doing something that people have been doing all the time, there is less chance of failure. But at the same time, there is less chance of getting any result other than what you're getting right now. So if you don't change anything, don't expect different results. But if you want different results, you have to change something. You have to take a risk that doing this might lead to this, where there is a chance of failure. But if it succeeds, it's going to give you this. So risk-taking is necessary, but you have to be willing to accept failure. As I said, it's very hard to do, but it is very important, because only if you have these two things always working for you, and great leaders facilitate this, risk-taking and willingness and acceptance of failure. If you do this, only then will you be innovative. Well, otherwise, you're going to do what you did day in and day out, and you're going to get the same results that you've been getting day in and day out. But as human beings, both intuitively as well as intellectually, we are averse to risk-taking, because risk-taking can lead to huge swings, and huge swings scare us. Okay, even when you are standing on the gate of a fence and you want to swing around, you will be careful to take small swings, because if you take a huge swing, there is a chance that you'll bang into something, and that's a risk. So because you don't want to do that, intuitively, you will not swing too hard. Everybody is afraid of huge swings. They scare us. And risk-taking and acceptance of failure, we as human beings, intuitively, as well as intellectually, are averse to taking them. But, and very important, without risk and failure, you cannot go to the next level. As I said at least 2 times in the last 2 minutes, sorry, if you do not take risk, if you do not change, and if you keep doing what you have been doing forever, you are going to get the results that you've been getting forever. So if you want improved results, if you want to push yourself somewhere, you have to be able to take risks, and you have to be willing and accept that there will be failure at times. Okay, so exceptional leaders know this. Level 5 leaders know this, and hence they encourage it. At times it can be an expensive encouragement. Some risks that you take could detrimental to your financial status of the company. But if you're not going to take the risk, there is no way that you're going to move forward and achieve something different. And we learn more from failure than we do from success. Because once we have success, you know what? The general human mentality is that, oh, I was successful, let me keep doing that. But when you fail, you're going to sit, analyze it, find out why that particular thing did not work, why you failed, and you're going to try to improve it. So you learn more from failures than from success. Exceptional leaders allow for failures and mistakes. Okay, they don't reprimand people only because yes, they will reprimand people when they fail or when they make mistakes, but if it is a stupid mistake. But when that person is trying to achieve something that is going to give you growth, that is going to give you success that is not conceived, none of the level 5 leaders will reprimand you on that. They will allow for failures and mistakes, and they will learn from them. Every one of us, when you fall, get up, shake off the dust, and start walking. But check, turn back and look if necessary of why you fell. And that is going to be what you will now be careful of in the next step that you take. So you learn from them. But I think this, I've said very often, a clever man learns from his mistakes. But a wise man learns from other people's mistakes. So a level 5 leader learns from other people's mistakes. He doesn't wait for himself or his team to make a mistake which somebody else has already done and you know about it. So you learn from others' mistakes. And the job of a leader is not to know all the answers. He's no superhuman, but he should have the talent. He should have the capability of recognizing other talents and finding the right people who have the answers for whatever he doesn't have. Yeah, there's no lone genius. The team collectively has to be a genius. So the leader's main task is to find the talent that is going to be something that as a team encompasses all the answers all the questions that you need. They encourage teams to come up with radical ideas. Now, this is something that is missing. More often than not, we as human beings are averse to radical ideas. Okay, we will laugh them off. We will start sniggering at the person who comes up with such ideas. But trust me, there are no stupid or weird ideas. And I say this very often when I'm doing workshops. Okay, that whatever question comes to mind, ask it. There are no stupid questions you can ask me. There are no weird questions you can ask me. So in the same way, working in an organization, there are no stupid or weird ideas. But these stupid and weird ideas, they should be encouraged. And you should, and level 5 leaders do it. They create an environment for teams to put forward their stupidest and silliest ideas. They will make sure that when you are in a team meeting, the whole culture is defined from beginning, where stupid and silly ideas are not frowned upon or laughed at, but it is something that sets you thinking. Oh, why did he say that? What can be done with that? Okay, this is far-fetched, but can it be achieved? And most inventions you see, the people have always first, when a person talks about it, have laughed it off, saying, okay, go dream. Well, it is dreams that help you to achieve unknown or unimaginable things. And level 5 leaders encourage and support such conversations. Conversations that where people put forward their silliest and stupidest ideas are encouraged and supported by level 5 leaders. They create a space, as I said, in a team meeting, they create a space where people feel uninhibited to express their ideas, no matter what it is. It may be something that is old, but maybe that old thing can be looked upon in a new way today. So it's not a stupid idea, or it's not an overdone idea. Weird ideas ultimately live to creative ideas. So a level 5 leader knows this. And if you will notice, most level 5 leaders, the organizations they hold, as I said right in the beginning, they only 11 out of 1,000 odd Fortune 500 companies achieved it. And they all had level 5 leaders. Okay, they achieved success that by industry standard or any other standard you look at was unimaginable and unexpected. So weird ideas ultimately lead to creative ideas. And these creative ideas, sorry about the typo, and these creative ideas are what is going to make the organization super successful, super performer. I hope this has helped you. This is what every leader should aspire to be. It's not something that you can do in a day. It's going to take time, but strive to that. And once you strive to that, trust me, you will become a leader who takes his organization to not just one level up, to many notches up. And that's what makes him a great and exceptional leader. Thank you for listening. Please do like the video. And if you still have an opinion about the professionals in the family business, please do send me a message. Have a great weekend. See you all on Monday. Bye.